Hi everybody, so you join me on a beautiful April afternoon. It's been a fantastic 3 days. Today is cooler than yesterday, it's about 20 degrees, yesterday was about 24 or 25, but absolutely superb riding weather. I thought I'd take my favourite road to Shrewsbury and tell you a bit about my bike and what I've done to it. I ride other bikes, as you know, for the blood bikes, but I love just get backing on this one. It's got just enough power, it handles lovely, it's light. I don't really need a lot else. I have looked at others, I've ridden a 1200, super bike, really comfortable, but this one suits me down to the ground. I bought the bike about a year ago, since then I've done about 8,000 miles. I've ridden right through the winter, I've ridden in rain, I've ridden in a little bit of snow, I've ridden in the hot weather, I've gone away for weekends camping, I've ridden up and around the Lake District, done everything I wanted and given me a great deal of pleasure riding it. I've made a few changes. I think the term is sparkling. I just thought I'd run through some of the changes I've made. So I thought I'd start at the front and work my way back. One of the changes I made was to add LED headlight bulbs. They haven't greatly improved the range of the headlights, but what they have done is even out the colour of light between the headlights and the auxiliary lights. So now I get a nice white light from both the headlights and auxiliary lights. So that's change number one. Moving back a little bit, I've got some fold up short brake and clutch levers. These are not expensive, they came off eBay. I think they cost me about £30 odd for the pair. Fitting was really easy, they're really comfortable, they're very adjustable, they do everything that really you need. They look nice too. I've also from Triumph bought their fold up gear lever. It's a really nice alloy piece. Just in case on the rare occasion I do some off-roading that I drop the bike and then the gear lever should fold up just on the tip rather than mind that tree there, rather than bend or break. Around the same area I put on a set of Triumph crash bars just around the bottom half of the engine. Last year I did have a reason to test these out on a bit of green laning. I dropped the bike and sure enough they kept the engine away from any trouble. Didn't really stop the auxiliary lights from digging in, and there was a bit of damage at the top end, so you know, if you're going to do a lot of off-roading, maybe I'd suggest you go for something that has a bit more protection, maybe like the Heave. But for just laying it down, we're worried about the engine casings. The Triumph lower engine bars seem to be really good. I've added a auxiliary power outlet to the back of the bike as well, so now I have one at the front by the handlebars which I run my iPhone off. It also, my iPhone, I run my sat nav, my Bluetooth for instance recording this video from my helmet. Another little mod I made was to get everything into the LED mood, was I changed the standard indicators for a set of Triumph LED indicators. Not inexpensive, around about £130 in total. but they're a very neat, small set of indicators. They look great on the bike. They're really bright, and I think they're a nice addition. For my iPhone, I've added an extra RAM holder on the RAM mount, and it's brilliant. It has it just on the handlebars, exactly where my eye line falls. Everything's to hand, everything's clear. I don't need an additional satellite navigation. I run a USB from the phone into the front power socket. Everything's all in one place. I also bought a set of reflective Triumph Tiger wheel rim stickers in my favourite colour, orange. They're nice and reflective at night, so hopefully they give me a little bit more visibility, and I think they look pretty good too. When I've added things like the handlebars, I've tried to go with the gold theme to match the forks on the XR. Not an exact match, but they're pretty close. I did also buy an anodized gold oil filler cap. Wasn't expensive, but it didn't really work. I could see just a little bit of misting around the seal, so I wasn't happy with that, so I've actually gone back to the original plastic one. And whilst I'm on the subject of oil, when I got the Triumph, I originally put in Castrol oil, and I seem to be topping it up with 100 mil every 1,000 miles or so. I changed at the service to Valvoline oil and hardly uses any oil at all, nothing. So the type of oil does influence how much oil consumption your bike has. So if you are using a little bit of oil, maybe you need to consider changing that oil. It's the same weight of oil as recommended by Triumph, but it's just a different manufacturer. So I'm not sure why that should be different and work differently, but it does. And that's about the extent of the changes I've made to my Triumph Tiger. Not a great deal, but gave me something to do through the winter months when I couldn't ride. Hasn't significantly changed the bike, but it has personalised it just a little bit to how I like it. I've ridden the new bikes and they are lovely bikes, but I ask myself, spending an extra few £1,000, would I get an extra few £1,000 worth of fun? I'm not really sure I would, so I'm happy to ride the Tiger I've got at the moment. This is, as I said, this is the back road to Shrewsbury. It's a lovely road, not too much traffic. There's sometimes a few bikes on it. You don't have to go crazy, but you can just enough bends, just enough sight lines to make it interesting. I should mention this is also the first day when I've actually been able to ride out this year on the bike with cycling jeans on, rather than my textile gear with thermals, and it's absolutely lovely. Haven't even got the heated hand grips on today. What more could you ask for? although I'm sure this weather won't last like this for long. I mean, it's only the second week in April. I've heard people say about time too, but in actual fact this weather is much better than it should be this early in the year.